So I received something new in the mail today, and this is my first DC Finest book, which is their new imprint. Started this year, I believe. And it's kind of more in the tradition of Showcase. So you can see it's got the same cover, but there are some distinct differences between them. This one is retailing at $40. This one was retailing at $24. I'm sorry, $20, so half the price. Now, a few things. This one, it kind of looks like there's less material in here, so I'll show. But it's actually not true. The DC Finest has 662 pages in it. The Showcase has 518 pages. But the obvious big difference between the two is that this is all full color and this is black and white. So that makes a big difference. Now, if you were to get these stories, and many of these stories have not been printed in the omnibus. Some have, but many haven't. An omnibus runs generally like between $100 and $150. But if you ever pay that price for it, you have overpaid, because you can generally get it for $70, $80, something like that, if you go and shop around. I bought this from Barnes & Nobles. It was cheaper on Amazon, but I still have my issues with Amazon, and I don't think that's ever going to end. So I will buy stuff from Amazon, but if I will pay a little bit more to buy it from Barnes & Noble. One of the problems with Amazon is they're not particularly careful with their shipping, but I wasn't particularly impressed with the shipping on this one. It didn't come in a box. It came in an envelope and was a bit loose in there. So we do have some. It did not come in perfect condition. You can kind of see a little bit of folding up here. We have a little damage there, so so be it. I mean, the only other option is just to buy it from the store itself. But they didn't have this one at the store, but it would have been the same price. I didn't get any discount from purchasing it online. So for people who are interested in reprints, I think this is pretty good. Again, a lot of the stories in here I do have. Not well, I mean, I have them in black and white. Some of them I even have in color. So we'll go through real quick. This is Showcase number 4 of Superman Family. So this one, Showcase, starts in May 1960 and runs through July 1961. And I want to say that this includes just Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane, whereas this one has some Action Comics with Supergirl and some Superboy in it. So, which is kind of weird, because they also have DC Finest of Superboy, which is something else I pre-ordered. So we'll kind of take a look in here. It goes through. We start with Action Comics 266, which is, I think, the introduction of Streaky, and then we go to Lois Lane, number 19, so we don't start at the beginning. They do appear, as far as I can tell, to be complete, in the sense that it starts with Lois Lane 19 and then continues with 20 and then 21. We start with Jimmy Olsen, number 47, from September 1960, and then continue on. So the Showcase started much earlier, maybe with issues number 1. So I don't know if DC Finest is going to go backwards at this point and show earlier ones. I don't know why they chose to start where they started, which is in July 1960. But I would prefer. Okay, so in here it shows what is in here. It has some Superman comics, Adventure Comics. So this is more of a smattering, although it has Lois Lane 19 through 28, Jimmy Olsen 47 through 56, and then some other comics. So this is definitely something that I'm going to look forward to going through, because this is definitely some real good Golden Age stuff. I already did this story, but the colors in here look really nice. This is about omnibus quality in terms of color. The omnibus have better quality paper, but it's fine. It's going to be a bit harder for me to produce videos for this one because of the nature of how it's. I'm going to have to hold it open, and I don't love that. The omnibuses could, in many cases, just lay open. So it will make my videos a little bit harder. But at least now I'll have these videos in color, which I would much prefer. I really liked the early stories, so it's a little disappointing that they're starting sort of later on instead of earlier. So again, I don't know why they chose to do that. I don't see anything for pre-ordering another edition, and it doesn't say on here like Superman. Like here it shows Volume 4. There is nothing on here. It just says 1960 to 1961. So that might just, it might show later on like 1959 to 1960 or something like that. Because like I said, this starts in summer of 1960. It will lay flat, sort of flat, once I'm in the middle stories. So they might be easier to do. We got a lot of Kurt Schaffenberger art. But this is good stuff. I think $40, because at first I was like, and the other problem with this one is kind of the binding on it. I did have issues with the pages falling out. And usually it wasn't a page here and there. It was like a whole, I think the whole thing would fall out. So hopefully the gluing on this is better. But when you look at the price, this came out in, this was published in 2013, so you're talking 12 years later, double the price, more pages, full color. I guess that's not outlandish, particularly since it's half the price of what you would pay for an omnibus, even on a discount, and more like a third of the price for the retail. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I think Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are two fantastic series, and I really wanted to present them. But I did also pre-order the Super. Okay, I did this one. So all the Supergirl stories are going to be an overlap because I own the complete omnibus, so I have every Supergirl story. I don't love getting stories twice, but you know, it just happens. Even with my omnibus, sometimes a story will appear in both Supergirl and my Legion of Superheroes collection if Supergirl happens to visit the Legion of Superheroes. So it happens. Not a big deal. So I was curious as to what justifies $40. Looking at it now, I kind of see it, but it is on like $5 discount or something on Amazon. This is the Crypto Battlesuit Titano. I want to do these stories. This is going to be great stuff. So this will give me all sorts of new material. It will take me a long time to get through this one, but this is the kind of stuff that really inspired this channel, and so I hope people enjoy. And if you're interested, DC Finest might be something people might look into if they're into reprints of classic Silver Age stories.